that today's ball game, when you combine Josh Cribbs with Dexter McCluster on the Kansas City side, it's going to be a game of returners. Who's going to make the big play, and which team is going to cover better? It's a huge element in this ball game.
There is Ryan Suckup. He is the kickoff man, the place kicker for the Chiefs. The ever dangerous one is back for the Browns, Joshua Cribbs. Sun is broken through here on the home opener of the Browns. A short kick. They don't want any part of Cribbs here, Steve. And they get the ball to up back.
That is the ultimate sign of respect.
Harrison got the ball.
That's the ultimate sign of respect as we look at Seneca Wallace. Excited about his opportunity today to make his 15th start. Mike Holmgren brought him over from Seattle in a trade this past offseason. And I know they feel pretty darn comfortable with him calling signals back there.
They do. They have a lot of confidence in Seneca Wallace. Very accurate, and of course he can extend plays with his good feet. A very mobile quarterback. Started his career as a fourth-round draft choice of the Seahawks. Jerome Harrison gets the first call of the day. The guy who busted the Chiefs defense for 286 yards last season. There's the offensive line led by three-time Pro Bowler Joe Thomas at left tackle. Massaquoi is the top for a young receiver, and of course Harrison is the go-to back. We could see a combination of people though today. They feel Vickers is as good a lead fullback as there is in the game. The fullback lead, a staple of NFL running games. Nice check down, but the ball is dropped as he got it to Evan Moore. As we look now at the defensive lineup of the Chiefs. John Smith starts at left defensive end. Tyson Jackson out with an injury. He did not make the trip. Mike Vrabel from nearby Akron, Ohio, part of those Patriots Super Bowl teams. He's a stabilizer in the linebacking core. And Eric Berry, a rookie, the top picks in the last draft. He's a formidable tackler, hard-hitting. Now on third down, a throw downfield and a first down. Then the ball is lost in the ruling and the process of catching the ball. He did not have possession, and so Chancey Stuckey does not keep the ball, and the Browns have to punt it.
This should have been a catch, no doubt about it. Seneca Wallace found the right matchup. Ball a little bit behind. Tough catch for Chancey Stuckey, but at this level, you're expected to make that catch. He had possession of it, hit the ground, could not complete the act or the process of making the catch. That's why it was ruled incomplete.
And Steve, there's a wealth of good returners, like the guy back now for the Chiefs, Javier Arenas from Alabama. The guy who had 8 returns for touchdowns as a collegiate. A terrific special teams coverage by the Browns. Sweeps him under at the 17. A 47-yard punch, just a 3-yard return and a penalty marker down.
During the kick, holding number 53 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down, Burton Cleveland. Timeout.
Mario Williams called for the hold for the Chiefs. So they'll have the long field to go on their first possession of this day in Cleveland. Matt Castle starting at quarterback in his second year running the offense of the Chiefs. The former New England Patriots 7th-round draft choice. Threw for only 68 yards Monday night in the rain at the new Arrowhead. But he managed the game, and great returns, great overall play by the defense. And the Chiefs came away with their first opening day victory in 5 years. The offensive lineup for the Kansas City Chiefs. Hickman's a new acquisition this year. Richardson will start at right tackle. Ryan O'Callahan hurt. He did not make the trip. First and 10 now for the Chiefs. Castle comes out pitching. Gets it over to Moriarty, the rookie tight end from Iowa. They don't get much. Got a little bit. It'll be second down. As we look at the Cleveland Browns on defense. Sean Rogers at nose tackle. He was hobbled somewhat with a hip and ankle injury, but he's in that starting lineup ready to go. Coach Mancini likens Roth to a hockey enforcer. He's out to hit somebody every snap of the ball. And Ward starting as a rookie at safety for the Browns. A second-round pick from Oregon. Had a terrific game last week at Tampa Bay. And now, before we can get play in action, a penalty marker's thrown in a probable. Let's see, it looks like an defensive call.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 58, defense. His movement into the neutral zone caused a reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Carl Cheffers, our referee today at Cleveland Brown Stadium.
That was a penalty on Marcus Bernard. You sure don't want to, when you got a team backed up in your own end zone, 3rd and 8 at the 8-yard line, you sure don't want to give them an easy 5 yards. You got them backed up in there. You want to get that field position secured for your offense.
And the Chiefs, Steve, put Castile in the backfield, a fullback. He's in there to pass block. Checking down is Matt Castle, gets it to Dwayne Bowe, but Browns defense keeping it all in front of him, and Scott Fujita, who at one time was a Kansas City Chief, he makes the stop for the Browns.
But that's a key play, though. They went from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3, and a pass like this, now you keep the ball in front of you, you're right down, and you make the good tackle for a short game. But guess what? It's a first down. That's all Kansas City needed. If you had them at 3rd and 8, they throw that pass, you make the tackle, they're punting. That's a key penalty on the play previous by Marcus Bernard. Literally allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to make a first down.
An expensive encroachment. Again, another throw, another catch, short stuff, but it's working. They get the ball out to the Chiefs to the 26-yard line. As Moyaki is the target again for an 8-yard gain. There is Eric Mangini in his second year as head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Had a 1-11 start last year, then they won their last 4.
Amazing. Amazingly won their last 4. I don't think it's ever been done before, the way they did it.
Now the Chiefs run, and Thomas Jones, who had a tremendous year for the Jets, and everybody in the New York area was stunned they didn't keep him. 1,400 yards rushing, and they really like this guy in Kansas City. A great leader, tremendous kid. He graduated from Virginia in 3 years.
And look at the way he hits his hole. Sure, there's good push by that O-line, but he rips through there. He's an 11-year vet. Carried the ball, touched the ball 341 times last year. How many fumbles do you think? None. 0 fumble.
Don't we sign him? The Jets didn't, and the Chiefs are happy about it. Now another straight-ahead power run. On a first down carry, it's out close to the 39-yard line. Atia Rubin in at nose tackle makes the stop.
But the addition of Thomas Jones to this offense is huge for the Kansas City Chiefs for a number of different reasons. One, the leadership, the presence. They've got a very young team. He knows how to be successful at this level. His example is great. But 2, they can keep now Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones fresh by spreading the carries out between the 2 of them.
341 touches last year is astounding. Jones looking to cut back, change the direction, moves, no good against the Browns defense, which adjusts, and the knockdown is made to the 40-yard line of KC.
A good job here by the Cleveland defense. You'll see they do a great job controlling the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of room, not a lot of space for Thomas Jones to get up in there. And great tackle by T.J. Ward, the young rookie that Cleveland Browns are very, very high on. Everybody I talked to, Rob Ryan, Eric Mangini, they really think this guy's going to be a tremendous player for a lot of years.
And now, Steve, Jamal Charles in the Browns backfield on a 3rd down play. Needing 6 on the Chiefs backfield. As here is Matt Castle airing it out, a sideline pattern. His receiver, McCluster, who just came in, the rookie from Ole Miss, losing his footing on the outcut. And so the Chiefs drive stalls, and they'll have to punt the ball.
And not a lot of good options on that play for Matt Castle. You saw a concerted effort on this drive to come out and get him involved. Matt told us in our meeting yesterday that he thought it was important to get off to a quick start with some completions, get people believing in this passing game again. They did a little bit that drive, but not much available to him on that 3rd down play.
And Joshua Cribbs is back for the Browns. The punt hit by Dustin Colquitt. Cribbs will go with it. Excellent special teams by the Chiefs and the kick coverage. As the play is made by Corey Greenwood, a 43-yard punt, just a 5-yard return. Jake Delhomme on the bench. He'll not play today for the Cleveland Browns after an ankle injury last week in Tampa Bay. Led himself to injury through an interception on the play to Rondé Barber when he was hurt. Now here's Wallace. power run. Peyton Hillis came to the Browns. He had 2 fumbles last week at Tampa Bay, lost 1. It was expensive at the 15-yard line of the Bucs in the 3rd quarter.
But you see a commitment early to share the carries. Both of them had 9 carries last week. Peyton Hillis and Jerome Harrison getting the ball early in this ball game today.
On 2nd down and 6. Big defensive play by the Chiefs. Mike Vrabel shoots the gap. Vrabel has been a remarkable story. He was actually waived by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who drafted him out of Ohio State. Was a key part of 3 Super Bowl championship teams.
The ball was fumbled, recovered by the defense. First down, Kansas City.
It is a fumble, a live ball, and the Chiefs get the first break of this day, and they made the break.
Well, you're going to see Mike Vrabel. He makes the hit. He's coming in from the side right there, shot the gap. I don't know exactly what Benjamin Watson was thinking. The right tight end just kind of sticks his arm out and lets Vrabel go right in there. There's no way that they weren't going to account for him on that play, and I'm sure that Cleveland's going to challenge that.
They are.
See if it was a fumble, but Vrabel uncontested to Jerome Harrison.
So we'll find out when we come back whether or not it is the Kansas City Chiefs' fault on a fumble recovery.
Ruling on the field, challenging.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Viagra. And by Bud Light. It's a sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
This is Don Criqui with Steve Berline back at Cleveland Browns Stadium. We have a challenge on the field. Was it a fumble by the Browns and a recovery by the Chiefs? Here's a good look.
I don't think there's any doubt in my mind, Don, that hit Jerome Harrison's left arm. He's got control of that football, but watch when that elbow hits the ground. Right there, you see the ball comes out as a result of his elbow hitting the ground. In my opinion, it's not a fumble because the play is over at that point. Question is, how do the referees view it? Is it clearly a situation where it must be overturned because it's indisputable? We'll see what Carl says.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Kansas City.
That
Cleveland will
surprised
be
me.
charged with their first time out.
Don, that is a classic example of if that ball were ruled by the officials to not have been a fumble, I don't think they would have overturned it either. It's just one of those, was not clear either way as to what the right call was, so the call on the field will stand in those cases most of the time.
So the Chiefs make a big play. They get it from a 14-year veteran, Mike Vrabel. And now Kansas City with its second possession in scoring position already. Passes the game plan, Steve. We've been throwing down after down, and now a very mobile Castle gets out of bounds, does get plus yards inside the 20. Turnovers were a problem for the Browns last week at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, this first interception led, right at the end of the first half, led to 7 points for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And right here, Cleveland going in for a score at the 15-yard line. Peyton Hillis fumbles the ball, and then coming out of the own end zone, Jake Delhomme throws one up for grabs. That led to the go-ahead touchdown for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last year, Don, the Cleveland Browns were 29th in the NFL in turnover margin at -12. They've got to protect the football.
They're ridden today on their second possession. Now here's a swing pass. Too much on it. He's a small target. Dexter McCluster, they list him at 5'8". He'd like to be, but what a player.
And that's one of the growing pain things right here. Watch Matt Castle's reaction afterwards. He thinks Dexter McCluster's going to see him putting his arms in there. What are you doing? But Dexter McCluster, he's young. He's a rookie. He's not quite 100% on the same page right there. I think he felt the pressure coming from the inside Cleveland Brown defensive player and just kind of thought that Matt Castle would stop him with that football. Not the case from Castle's point of view.
Here they go big back now. Castile comes in for the much smaller McCluster in there to pass block in all probability on a 3rd down and 5. At the 8-yard line, the play is broken up. Moeaki again the target. But the Browns' Mike Adams, the nickel back, was in there to break it up, and so the field goal unit comes up.
And that's really disheartening right there. If you're on the Kansas City Chiefs, you sit there, you get the ball at the 22-yard line after a big turnover by your defense. You go 3 plays, you pick up 6 yards, and now you're going for a field goal. Those are the kind of things that good teams do not do. They cash in when they have the opportunity. This Kansas City Chiefs team is a team still learning how to be a good football team. I think they're very close, but they've got to learn how to cash in on those opportunities.
Now they want to see if they get a good field goal. It'll be the first of the year. Ball is hit up by Ryan Suckup from 35 yards out. And the Chiefs capitalize on the turnover and take a 3-0 lead. Fumble by Harrison. Vrabel did the honors on the defense, knocking the ball away. It is not too late to play NFL.com's all-new fantasy football game, the first and only game with video. It's free and easy to play. Sign up today at NFL.com/fantasy.
As we get set for this kickoff after the field goal by Kansas City, we saw on the first kickoff, no doubt Kansas City is not going to kick that ball deep to Joshua Cribbs.
I mean, it's no bargain kicking short to a guy like Harrison. No, they do not want that again. There is fullback Vickers in there to block. They don't get a big return, but they do get relatively good field position. And the Browns go on offense.
CBS next Sunday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint, the Now Network, and by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
All right, ready to go. Seneca Wallace says the #1 job of any quarterback is to protect the ball. And he says play fast with tempo and above all have fun. There he is. Seneca Wallace in his 5th year from Washington State. 5th year from Iowa State. And here is the rollout pass. Good defense by the Chiefs. Ben Watson, a former Patriot #1 pick.
I would expect to see, Don, some wildcat here. Right away comes Joshua Cribbs on the field, right on cue. Hopefully that'll be a sign for the Cleveland Browns offense. They're going to change it up a little bit because so far on 6 plays, this Cleveland Browns offense has generated a whopping total of 5 yards to this point. So there it is. There's Joshua Cribbs, quarterback.
If he uses those legs, Steve, he's a guy that can get yards running the ball. 2nd and 10. He might be 2nd down on the play. Chiefs come with 4. Long ball downfield. Cribbs going for it. Looked like he was interfered with, but the official on top of it says no. Brandon Carr defending. Somebody was making contact.
Well, actually, that was Cribbs split out on the outside. That was my mistake. Seneca Wallace throwing the pass. And a little bit of contact there.
There's no foul for offensive pass interference on the play. Both players were playing the ball and their feet became entangled.
There you go.
I think where Joshua Cribbs is more dangerous, when you use him as a pure wide receiver, I don't think that's his strength. Remember, he was a quarterback in college. He is a guy that you want to get the ball to around the line of scrimmage somewhere where he can catch it and make moves and make people miss.
Well, we were huge Fridays. You know, Steve, that they could be going to Joshua Cribbs throwing the ball a lot. They really want to get in his hands. Chiefs with an early 3-0 lead.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Eric Mangini with cause for concern. No offense and a fumble from his offense so far today that led to the only points of the game, the Suckup field goal. Third down and 10. Seneca Wallace stands in against the rush, dumps it down. Hillis working hard, and he does have a Cleveland Browns first down. The rookie Javier Arenas wrestled him down, but a good look by Wallace, an 11-yard gain and a first down for the Browns.
Well, this is the Cleveland Brown offense that had only 4 first downs in the second half against Tampa Bay last week. This is their first down of the day. Peyton Hillis right there. Good job by Seneca Wallace. Understand that's a veteran, been around a while. Understand you don't have to force it up the field to pick up that 10 yards.
After Hillis' fumble in the third quarter. They only had 2 first downs the rest of the way. Their offense stopped. They go to Hillis again on first down. He is a third-year player from Arkansas, 240 pounds. Came as part of the Brady Quinn deal that sent Quinn to the Denver Broncos.
Well, one of the things that baffled me, Don, was the last year's game where Jerome Harris ran for 286 yards. How could the Chiefs allow that to happen when the Cleveland Browns were only averaging 80 yards in the air per game at that point? How could they do it? Well, today it seems as though they're not going to let Cleveland get that running game going.
Wallace, timing ball, goes deep. And a bit too much on it. Dallas go to New York to James Brown.
Don and Steve, Michael Vick's first start since 06. Here he's hooking up on 1st and 10 with Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun does the rest. 45 yards to pay dirt to put the Eagles up at that time 7-0. Detroit answered back. Rookie running back Javid Best. It's all knotted at 7 apiece. Don and Steve.
Thank you, JB. Here in Cleveland, 3-0 Chiefs, capitalizing on a Browns fumble for a field goal after it. Here's a throw and a catch and a first down as Seneca Wallace. They talked about his accuracy, Steve. And it looked like really Steve Berline in that play.
Let's not get carried away. That's Benjamin Watson pulling that ball in. A nice gain. 3rd down conversion again. 3rd and 5. You see Seneca Wallace comfortable in the pocket. Makes a nice low throw. There was not much room to stick that ball in there. Benjamin Watson does a great job adjusting back to the football, securing the first down.
Wallace feeling confident, steps up, downfield throw. And looking at Brian Robisky, it's an overshoot. How about the Dolphins and the Vikings? James Brown has more on that.
Don and Miami up 7-0 going into the second quarter. Take a look at the key play on the scoring drive. Chad Henne up top, hooking up with Brandon Marshall. 46-yard play that set up a 5-yarder from Henne to Brian Hartline. 7-0 Vikings trailing, Miami. Back to Don and Steve.
All right, JB, we have a 2nd down and 10 coming up now for the Browns. A handoff, a slashing run by Jerome Harrison, who ripped Kansas City's defense for that unbelievable rushing day last year, 286 yards. You got to think he's going to get a lot of carries, Steve.
Oh, well, you got to think that, right? But I don't know. I'm still not convinced that Cleveland really knows what they want to do with their running back position, going back and forth with Peyton Hillis. I do know this. The Kansas City Chiefs were highly motivated. We talked to Derek Johnson. He had no answer for why it happened last year with Jerome Harrison, but he seemed very motivated to make sure it doesn't happen today.
Here's a big on there. The penalty markers are thrown before the snap. Here, a false start on the Browns.
False start, number 82, offense, 5-yard penalty,
Veteran
3rd down.
Tight end Ben Watson left early.
Yeah, you're going to see Ben Watson right here at the top of the screen. He's going to jump, flinch a little bit early. Yeah, way early. No little bit about that one. And that's frustrating because in the huddle, a veteran quarterback is going to make it very clear, hey, we're going on the hard count. Everybody, hold your water. Don't jump. And then another veteran jumps off sides there. Frustrating stuff.
Let's see what Wallace goes to on 3rd down and 12. Long ball. Too much at it. Shooting at Evan Moore, the big rangy tight end from Stanford, who was a varsity basketball player for the Cardinal of Stanford.
I don't really understand the infatuation here that the Browns have with the deep ball right now, trying to run streaks up the field. That right there was Evan Moore, who did play some wide receiver in college, but he's a tight end in the NFL going against a pretty good cover corner, Brandon Flowers. To me, that's not a very good matchup. If you got a safety out there, I could understand it, but not against a cornerback.
Javier Arenas was covering on the play. Browns punt is a penalty marker down. So is the return man. Kick coverage has been outstanding in this game both ways. Here's what Carl Cheffers has to say as the flag is down.
Offside defense, number 48, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Rashard Langford offside.
So it's going to be a re-kick if Eric Mangini decides he wants to punt it again. Now, you're looking at the ball being on the 48-yard line, but since it's it'll now be 4th and 8, there's really no decision to be made. They still got to punt it again. If they had gotten it up to where it was 4th and 1 in that field position, I think Eric Mangini would have definitely thought hard about going for it. That's the area of the field where you really can't justify going for it on 4th down.
Javier Arenas, rookie from Alabama, is back to return the punt. Reggie Hodges ready to hit it for the Browns. Wilson, directional punt. Roll down inside to the 5-yard line. So more terrific work on special teams. Chiefs get the ball, but they have a long way to go when we come back to Cleveland Browns Stadium.
You've got a young punt returner in Javier Arenas, a rookie, who got a welcome to the NFL here on this punt return. Listen to this hit. Joe Hayden, the rookie cornerback for the Cleveland Browns, took advantage of an unsuspecting Javier Arenas right there. And Javier will now know if he ever decides to let a ball go over him, he better protect himself. That's a lesson learned, I'm sure, Don.
Yeah, Hayden had a learning experience at Tampa Bay. He was beaten on a 33-yard touchdown pass. Winning score when Cleveland's all-out blitz failed, and he was left out on that proverbial island.
Yes, that's exactly right. It was a play that Rob Ryan wishes he didn't call. He called for a little bit of pressure, blitz off the edges, and he felt like he put his rookie corner in a bad situation. And Joe Hayden did not answer the bell that time, ended up costing the winning touchdown.
Chiefs by 3, 1st and 10 from the end zone. Castle swings it out. Coverage is good. Again, they look at Moiaki. Had 3 receptions in the Monday night win over San Diego. The Chiefs fans, I mean, they were almost coming through the screen, the emotion in that new Arrowhead Monday night. It was unbelievable.
You could feel it watching the game through your television set. Yeah, it was electric there for sure. They're going to have a lot more things to cheer about if Kansas City can find ways to get the football to them. Right now, Matt Castle having trouble finding open receivers and delivering anything to pick up any kind of yardage whatsoever.
He is 3 of 7, Steve, for 14 yards. Matt Castle throwing the ball. On-field throw. He's on target for a 1st down. Chris Chambers, the veteran from Wisconsin, screens away cornerback Eric Wright, makes a 15-yard grab.
Well, that was a great throw by Matt Castle coming out of his own end zone. You'll see he squeezes it in there between Eric Wright and Sheldon Brown on the sideline, just sticks it right in there. You see Sheldon Brown, the free agent acquisition number 24 right there, bit on the underneath, and then a great throw by Matt Castle to get it in there in front of Eric Wright.
1st and 10. Castle over the middle. Beautifully executed pass play on a crossing pattern to Moiaki. And the ball didn't come loose. It was a 16-yard play if it goes out to the 36-yard line.
Now Moiaki is a guy that Todd Haley really spoke highly of, a 3rd-round draft choice out of Iowa. Really didn't play a lot until his senior year at Iowa, but he's shown that he can get open and find some holes in the defense. With the conditions today, even though he did have a touchdown pass last week, it seems as though he's a big part of their passing plan going forward.
Very highly regarded collegian, had a number of injury problems with the Hawkeyes. Getting a lot of looks today. Here's a slap ball. It was live at the 40. McCluster was the target. Matt Castle getting a lot of good counsel from the new offensive coordinator of the Chiefs, Charlie Weiss, who was so instrumental at New England developing Tom Brady.
Exactly right. And that was Eric Wright that got his hand on that ball. But yes, Tom Brady not hesitant at all to give credit to Charlie Weiss for his development. Matt Castle, I think, coming from that same background, understands the value of having a tutor like Charlie Weiss.
Castle now 5 of 10 for 45 yards. There's the run on 2nd and 10, and the Browns are all over it. Jamal Charles, the gap wasn't there. He originally was a 3rd-round pick out of Texas, Jamal Charles. The game changer, though.
Well, here we are, Don. Coming up on 3 minutes left in the quarter. And Jamal Charles gets his first carry of the ball game. I don't think Todd Haley planned on waiting this long to get him the football, but don't think it's not going to change here pretty quickly. I think Jamal Charles will make his presence felt here pretty quickly over the course of this football game.
Castle in the shotgun on 3rd and 6. He is hit hard from behind. He who hesitates is lost, and he was there.
And that's Marcus Bernard coming all the way around. Matt Castle has got to get rid of this football. You're going to see right here at the bottom of your screen, Marcus, watch how he runs all the way around the right tackle there. That's Barry Richardson. Not a bad job by Barry Richardson. You're thinking, I've run him past the quarterback. You don't think the quarterback's going to hold the ball quite that long. Matt Castle's alarm clock in his head's got to go off before that hit takes place.
And the Chiefs have to punt the ball, and they do. Colquitt hits a beauty. Cribbs backpedaling, lets it bounce. It takes a KC bounce, and it goes out of bounds at the 4-yard line, maybe the 5. So a terrific effort. A directional punt by Dustin Colquitt, 6-year veteran from Tennessee. A 59-yard punt. All net yardage. Coming up with this ball to CBS. Get ready to catch the wave. Hawaii 5-0 premieres tomorrow. Only CBS.
That was a heck of a kick right there. And that ball carried all the way to the 4-yard line and then stopped like a golf ball with spin on it and stuck right out of bounds on the 5-yard line. You talk about a change in field position right there. It shows how valuable the kicking game is.
There was also a personal foul called against the Browns on that play, so the ball has moved half the distance. It's back to the 2-yard line. Steve, from 17 years as a quarterback in the NFL, you know how offensive coordinators can get very conservative in what you're going to do when you're this close to your own end zone.
No doubt about it. It's a whole different world down there when you're backed up.
That worked well. Peyton Hillis, both arms on the ball, rockets into the secondary of the Chiefs.
Well, plays like that, running plays right up the gut like this from Peyton Hillis, boy, he was a freight train coming through. That is not a little man. He is a big boy. And I'll tell you what, you get the ball run out of the end zone like that, it makes the coach feel a lot more comfortable.
Very hitting, but 11 yards downfield, they go to Hillis again on a first down play. This game is still a 3-0 game.
Well, at 6'2", 250, Peyton Hillis is a load, no doubt about it. But I think he's trying to make a statement today. He put the ball on the ground twice last week. Only once cost him, but boy, did it cost him dearly. They were going in for a score. The fumble at about the 15-yard line took points off the board. He's not going to do anything to keep both arms in that ball today, it looks like.
Wallace on 2nd and 8. Looking deep, checks down, makes the connection to Massaquoi. The Bears and the boys going at it today, and here's James Brown with more.
Don and Steve, after rookie Des Bryant put the Cowboys up 7-3, Chicago answers back. Quick strike, Jay Cutler to the big fella, the tight end Greg Olsen, 39 yards. He rumbles to the pay dirt, and it's Chicago back in front now, 10-7 over Dallas. Start of the second quarter. Don Criqui, Steve Berline.
Well, I think Jay Cutler's really going to benefit from having Mike Martz and his aggressive style of play. Jake is a good fit for that.
Right now, a screen pass is set up beautifully. On the run is Jerome Harrison, and he's all the way out to about the 47 or 8-yard line of Cleveland. This drive, you remember, starting at the Browns' 2-yard line after the great punt by Colquitt and the subsequent personal foul call on the play against the Browns. That was for 23 yards, Steve.
Yeah, you get a good run to start the drive off by Peyton Hillis. It just kind of gets you relaxed and feeling good about things again. Good timing for the screen pass. You saw Eric Steinbach, the left guard, get out there in front of Jerome Harrison, make the key block. That's a huge gain. And you see a little bit of rhythm finally in this Cleveland Browns offense.
Wallace 5 of 11 throwing for 53 yards. A blitzer comes. It's a good feed of Wallace buying some time. And he does well to just throw it away as the Chiefs, they can come fast. Talking to Scott Pioli, the general manager of the Chiefs, he said, we're playing faster this year. We're playing tougher. And they like the team's attitude.
Well, you're going to see Brandon Carr coming off the side on your left-hand side, Seneca Wallace, I truly believe, did not have any idea that Brandon Carr was coming, but his athletic ability, we talked about it, the ability to extend the play and make things happen with your feet. No gain on the play, but it was not a sack fumble, which is what it would have been on a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL.
His feet got him out of trouble now. Wallace fires over the middle. A wide open receiver is Ben Watson, and the big man from Georgia is on the run all the way down to the 10-yard line. As late in the first quarter, the Browns offense finally comes alive. That was good for 42 yards.
Well, I'm going to show you. Talk about an open receiver. Now, look at this at the end of the pass. You're going to see the middle of the field completely wide open for Ben Watson. Look at this. There's a hole in here, and you can't even tell the perspective of by how shallow those linebackers are. You just don't get that open that easily in the NFL.
And when they're spotting it, it's actually a 44-yard gain. So the Chiefs are leading, and the Browns are challenging as they open up the pass offense. And we are ready to start the drive now. The second quarter ready to begin. The Browns on this extended drive, 87 yards on 6 plays. Nothing happened much on their first possessions, but now they're moving the ball.
Quarterback draw possibly here.
Gibbs, they isolate him. A good open field tackle by Brandon Flowers.
That's a formation we saw. This is it's called the Cyclone when Seneca Wallace is in the Wildcat formation. Josh Cribbs on the outside. We had 4 guys out here stacked up in almost a diamond formation. It was a very unique formation. We saw it at practice on Friday. They did some unique things out of it, including the possibility of a quarterback draw coming from Seneca Wallace at some point.
That's a threat anytime with a guy that can run like Seneca Wallace. Here's the pitch. Harrison cutting back. Terrific open field tackling at the 5 against the San Diego Chargers on Monday night. The Kansas City defense held the Chargers to 4 of 15 on third down conversions.
Yeah, this was a very well executed play by the Cleveland Browns. And you're going to see Derek Johnson, tremendous job of closing to the football. He's the one that saved that touchdown. Should have been a touchdown. It was a crack black block coming in from the left side, set up perfectly by Cleveland, but Derek Johnson running to that football saved the touchdown.
And this is a third down. We'll see if the Chiefs can get the Browns to bring their field goal team out and keep them out of the end zone.
First start timeout.
Right now, a timeout with the Chiefs in the lead, 3-0. A continuing problem for the Browns last year, goal-to-go situations. This is a 3rd and goal for the Browns at the KC 5-yard line. Seneca Wallace in the shotgun. Nowhere to go just yet. Buying time. Running out of it. Weaving his way. And the Browns will have to kick a tying field goal.
There is a flag down.
Yes, there is. 2 yards deep in the end zone.
Could be illegal contact by the Chiefs or some sort of pass interference.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact. Number 50, defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
That's expensive for the Chiefs.
That's Mike Vrabel. You're going to see him right here in the middle of the screen. Let's watch and see what he was guilty of, if anything. He's in the end zone. They got yeah, there it is, right there. Even though you look at it and you say it wasn't that much of a factor on the play, it was outside of the 5-yard chuck zone area.
Number 65 reports as eligible. 65 reports
Vrabel hit
as
another
eligible.
former Ohio State Buckeye, Brian Robisky. And so the Browns have new life, and now they have 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Now this drive, you'll recall, started at the Browns' 2-yard line. Hillis, man, you can hear it up here. Hard-hitting Corey Mays comes in and fills and makes the stop for the Chiefs.
That was a pop. Let's listen to it off the right side of the Browns offense. Man.
Mays, a 5th-year linebacker from Notre Dame. He also spent time with the Patriots. High-powered football. Hillis, touchdown, and the Browns take the lead. Boy, going back to basics there, Steve Berline.
Yep, just get physical, down and dirty. Well, he didn't make it by much, but great second effort. I'll tell you, the Kansas City Chiefs did a super job at the point of attack, not giving Peyton Hillis anywhere to go. He didn't panic. He spun out, was very athletic in his control there of his body, got the ball over the line. Touchdown, Cleveland Browns.
Some hitting today. They're passing out headaches out there, and now the point after attempt. Bill Dawson, the veteran kicker, spins it up and through. And the Browns with their best drive in a long time, 98 yards. A touchdown by Hillis, a 7-3 Cleveland lead. The Browns kick off when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by KFC. Football fans, today is the day you double down. So good. The all-new CRZ Sport Hybrid, only from Honda. And by FedEx. We understand. You need a winning game plan. FedEx.
The Browns score on power football. Hillis into the end zone, and they take the lead 7-3. Now Dawson kicks off for Cleveland. Spinning kick. McCluster. Guy broke the 94-yard return. Over the top. Ball almost coming out there. And a Brown is down at the 34-yard line, holding his left leg.
Look at this guy. He's just nothing but excitement every time he touches the football. Dexter McCluster back there deep with Javier Arenas. I don't know who you decide to kick it to back there.
Kaluka Mayava, second-year linebacker for the Browns, being looked at. Leg injury. He's been a very good contributor since coming in and a high draft choice. Castle pitches. Mal Charles. Defensive speed is the key to stopping that lateral game. And Gokong runs it down. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Tower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Second and 9. Charles runs into a wall. Scott Fujita is the man who makes the hit. Fujita, 9-year veteran from Cal, and Rubin also on the stop. There is Rob Ryan, twin brother of Jets coach Rex Ryan.
Scott Fujita, one of the many very versatile linebackers on this Cleveland Browns defense. They're interchangeable. They can all play inside, outside. Veteran who did play for Kansas City at one point in his career. Excited to be a part of rejuvenating this Cleveland defense.
There's a throw and a catch out to the 32. Also played for the Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints last season. Fujita came here as a free agent.
He actually did talk about that in our meeting with him on Friday, where he said that the Cleveland Browns right now remind him of the New Orleans Saints 5 years ago, when they were just getting that confidence, starting to get that swagger, and got progressively better each year. One of the reasons why he came here as a free agent this year was because he felt that. He felt the quality of people, the character of the players in this locker room would give him a chance to be successful, and he wanted to be a part of it.
Okay, so he and his wife and twin daughters, 3, travel around the country in the offseason in their recreational vehicle known as Juanita Fujita. There is a directional punt hit to the far sideline.
They did not want to punt that ball to Joshua Cribbs back there. That's the unseen stuff. You don't work that into the statistics, but when a punter does not want to kick it to a return man and that ball squibs out of bounds, a 30-yard with no return punt, that's not what Steve Hoffman...
During the kick, holding number 93 of the return team. 10-yard penalty will be assessed from where the ball went out of bounds. First down.
Jason Trussenko for the penalty. If you love to laugh, this fall there's more to love with the new comedy Mike and Molly. It premieres tomorrow after 2.5 Men, only CBS.
But those are the ways that special teams can affect the ball game, Don. When you're talking about kickers that just are told, do not kick it to that return man out there because we do not believe we can make the tackle on him or we're scared of him, that affects field position dramatically.
And Wallace, he really got hot, Steve, in that last drive.
4, 5, 76 yards.
On the ball. Slam bam football. Straight ahead power run gets to the 30, 2nd and 8.
Yep, you look at that last drive. Start out with the very aggressive run by Peyton Hillis and finished off by a very aggressive run by Peyton Hillis. In between, a nice screen pass to Jerome Harrison, the big 44-yard gain to the Benjamin Watson that you saw there in the video. Got it down inside the 20-yard line.
Wallace under center on 2nd and 8. Pick. The proverbial pick 6. Brandon Flowers heads to the end zone. So a critical mistake by the Browns, and Eric Mangini sees the lead short-lived.
That was just a really, really bad decision by Seneca Wallace. Late to the flat.
Pretty good decision, though, by Brandon Flowers.
Great decision by Brandon Flowers, but these corners are always looking for a chance and opportunity. You see Seneca Wallace look to his right first, then look back to his left, and then threw late out to the flat. Brandon Flowers just licking his chops for that ball while it was floating in the air. That's too easy. You can't do that and expect to get away with it in the NFL.
So the Chiefs take back the lead with defense. Interception and subsequent return by Brandon Flowers, and now the point after by Suckup.
Well, turnovers were the story last week for the Browns. Again, unfortunately for Eric Mangini, his troops let him down again with the big return for a touchdown.
10-7 KC. Chiefs kick off and we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. Watch your favorite team wherever you live. Only on DirecTV. Call to switch today. And by Bing. Stop searching, start deciding with Bing, the decision engine from Microsoft.
A big defensive play by the Kansas City Chiefs has given them the lead back. They led early 3-0, and then Brandon Flowers jumping a route, runs it in for his second career touchdown from 33 yards out, and it is the Chiefs in the lead 10-7 after the Browns took the lead on a 98-yard drive.
Expect the pooch kick here again from Suckup. There it is.
It is the short kick, but Cribbs is coming up on it. Doesn't get to him. Jerome Harrison gets it out to the 27-yard line. Short kicking all day because of what Cribbs did in the last year. 2 touchdown returns on kickoffs of over 100 yards each.
Well, let's look again at that interception. You're going to see, watch the eyes of Seneca Wallace. He's looking to the right, turns his head back to the left. You cannot do that on a classic 3-step drop in the NFL. Then he floats it out there, made it way, way too easy for Brandon Flowers to make that interception. That's a throw in on 3-step drops in the NFL. That ball's got to come out on that 3rd step. If it's late, you better be throwing it away or throwing it to a wide open receiver.
And Steve, as you know, all 10 KC points have come off Cleveland turnovers. Harrison tries to go wide, does a great job cutting back, change of direction, quickness. It looked like he was going to be knocked down for no gain.
Now, there have been a lot of miscues for the Browns today again. You look at right there, first drive, Evan Moore drops what would have been a first down. Then you got the fumble by Jerome Harrison, and then the devastating pick. Seneca Wallace threw, Brandon Flowers cashing in. Those are the type of things that really give head coaches nightmares. And unfortunately, Mangini's had a few of those lately.
Eric Berry comes up with a hard strike on Jerome Harrison. Eric Berry, the rookie from Tennessee, pronounced himself the best player in the NFL draft last year at the Combine.
Well, he got torched for a couple touchdowns last week, but one thing we do know, you're going to see right over here on the side, he's shooting up. He likes to come up and hit people. He is not afraid. He's like a bullet. And he will make his mark one way or another.
3rd and 1, they go deep. Looking for a gamble, open receiver, and the Browns make the big play. And Josh Cribbs goes in, and the Browns take back the lead. No flags.
Well, we're going to get a shot again.
What a call.
Great call, and it was right on cue from our standpoint. Talked about how Eric Berry got burned for a couple of touchdowns last week against the San Diego Chargers. Right there on that one, a 65-yard touchdown pass. Seneca Wallace to Josh Cribbs. They had a hard play-action fake to the right. Eric Berry stepped up, and there he is coming in late into the picture. But if he did not react up to that play-action fake, he might have been in position to allow, or to not allow that pass to have been completed.
So Wallace, after throwing the interception that was returned for a touchdown, comes right back and hits a huge play to Josh Cribbs. 65 yards and a go-ahead touchdown for the Cleveland Browns. They lead the game 14-10, and now it'll be Cleveland kicking off when we come back. The Browns hit a big one. 65-yard scoring play. Seneca Wallace to Josh Cribbs. Josh told us on Friday, he said, you can expect me to be getting the ball from Seneca early and often.
Well, let's look at why that happened. Now we'll get a chance to see Eric Berry and what he did on that play. Seneca Wallace showing great resilience, coming back, shaking off the interception, and hitting his man Joshua Cribbs for the big touchdown. We'll get a chance to see exactly what it was that Eric Berry did to allow that to happen.
And that, Steve, was the career-long reception for Josh Cribbs, a big play guy, a 65-yard touchdown. McCluster looking for that cutback move, but he's taken down at the 17-yard line. Blake Costanzo.
Right here, watch Eric Berry. There he is. Right there, you're going to see the play-action fake right at him. He steps up. Oh, it's over. You lose. You're right there. Here comes Josh Cribbs across the screen. There's no way. That's all it takes, that one bit of hesitation, and the Kansas City Chiefs find themselves chasing Joshua Cribbs into the end zone.
As they say, he bit.
He bit. He bit hard. And I'll tell you what, Eric Berry is going to get challenged like that every single week until he shows he can be disciplined back there.
The Browns defense, picked up by that big play by the offense that gave them back the lead, comes hitting hard. Very short gain, if any. While Charles not getting much today. He has now run the ball 4 times for 10 yards. He's the guy that ripped the Chiefs for 286 yards rushing last season. One game.
Well, Jamal Charles had a big one last year in that same game. He ran for 150 against Cleveland, but he hasn't shown any spark yet today.
Castle, he's going long. Shooting at Chambers, it's picked off by the Browns. A tremendous defensive play by the leader of the secondary, Sheldon Brown.
Well, you talk to Rob Ryan right there. Eric Mangini, they say the single biggest move they felt for this defense was making the trade for Sheldon Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles. What a great player. He goes up and gets it. Chris Chambers, if you're an offensive player, you want to see him go up and fight for that ball a little bit more. I know Matt Castle will probably have something to say to him about that. Rob Ryan, of course, very happy about that. A true cover corner in Sheldon Brown, a guy who's proven to make plays, 9-year veteran. Great to add to a young defense.
And that interception of Seneca Wallace in return for a touchdown by Flowers ignited the Browns. They've come right back and played their best football since then. Harrison, not a lot going on as he tries the right side of the Kansas City Chiefs defense.
Yep, that would be behind his big stud 4th-year tackle. First-round draft choice in 2007. Joe Thomas, been to 3 Pro Bowls already. If I were an offensive coach, I'd ride that horse too a little bit. He's going to move people out of there.
I tell you, 3 years in the league, 3 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
His 4th year.
Hard to do any better than that.
Third and
First-round
final,
pick out of
third
Wisconsin.
timeout. Cleveland, a 30-second timeout.
Timeout on the field with 7:18 to go in the first half, and the Browns have rallied back to take the lead 14-10.
Well, while we've got a chance to talk about what we've been talking about for the last few minutes, Eric Berry, safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see what he did. I want to show you what he did last week against the San Diego Chargers. A couple of touchdowns that he gave up. One to Antonio Gates. That was a big play early in the game, but fortunately his teammate were able to rally and step up and make sure that they still were able to win the ball game. And we'll get a chance to show you those in a minute, but there were 2 times that he was victimized by his youthfulness. And again, it's going to happen quite a bit until he shows he can step up.
Harrison runs.
But guess who that was?
When he arrives, it's with a purpose.
Yeah, that aggression is definitely an asset as a tackler in the run game. And here we go. You're going to see him shoot the gap right in through here. Almost, I mean, you didn't even have a chance for Lawrence Vickers, who Jerome Harrison calls the best fullback in football. Lawrence Vickers did not have a chance to even react to Eric Berry coming up there supporting that run.
His contribution really is in stopping the run. He's a liability early in his career in a deep ball. Coming on a blitz now. He almost got there. Oh, man, what a play. The ruling is out of bounds. It was Massaquoi with a fingertip grab and did not have both feet in. Terrific play, though. Wow.
Tremendous catch by Mohamed Massaquoi, but you see only the 1 foot in. If that ball were thrown a little bit more inbounds by Seneca Wallace, because he did have some room to work with, that would have been a completion for sure. But that right foot, no doubt, to knock it down.
So the Browns, after getting the ball on the turnover, have to punt it at 4th down and 7. And Javier Arenas, who had 8 returns for touchdowns at Alabama as a collegian. The rookie is back. He's going to run it back from the 14. Boy, the Browns special teams come calling, come hitting, led by Nick Sorensen. 10 years as special team standout in the NFL. A 48-yard punt and just a 1-yard return.
And let's look at Eric Berry now. We've got it ready to roll. You're going to see right here, Antonio Gates, pretty good tight end. Eric Berry should have been inside leverage on that play, but he didn't do it, gave up a touchdown. Then right here you see he bites on the out fake. He got caught up in Antonio Gates, and then you had number 11, Nani. It was about as easy as it gets for a touchdown in the NFL. Phillip Rivers, no problem seeing that aggressiveness by rookie Eric Berry. He's got to learn to be a little more disciplined back there.
See how fast he came on that blitz, though?
Oh, he can move.
Swing pass goes to Thomas Jones out of the Chiefs' backfield and out to the 20-yard line, where Eric Barton knocks him out of bounds. Thomas Jones now in his 11th year from Virginia, the guy who had 341 touches last year, running and receiving with the Jets, 1,400 yards, and they didn't keep him.
And here we go with the red ball, first time today we've seen it. That's the Chiefs version of their no huddle.
Thomas Jones gets the call.
Todd Haley really likes this red ball offense, because he feels like he can dictate the tempo and he can keep the defense with their personnel on the field, the personnel they want, and also keep them from doing anything really exotic. It's hard for the defense to make exotic blitz calls when you're up on the ball.
Here we go to 3rd down now, Steve. 3rd and 3. Castle out pattern. And spinning ahead is the fullback Castile with sure hands, and he gets the first down for the Chiefs. Todd Berry said about the win over the Chargers on Monday night, it wasn't a pretty win, but he said, I'm not in the business of analyzing how attractive a win is. We'll take any.
A W is a W, no doubt about it. And to come out with that win in those conditions, I think that the #1 priority was not to turn the football over, and they did.
And up to Thomas Jones on a slant run out to the 32-yard line. Todd Haley's dad, Dick Haley, is here, a longtime executive with the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of their drafting gurus as they built those Super Bowl championship teams in the 70s.
And he was as involved as anybody in the fact that those Pittsburgh Steelers teams were that dominant during those years.
Jones running hard on 2nd down and 5.
One of the concerns Eric Mangini had was this red ball offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. Said it gave him a lot of problems last year. We got a player down, but the tempo is what he feels like gives that offense the advantage, and is very hard to defend because you can't run in your substitutions, and your players kind of have a hard time getting their rhythm.
I think it's Robert Smith, the longtime veteran from Michigan State at defensive end. So the Browns have already lost Kaluka Mayava with an apparent leg injury. Didn't look like he'd be back today. So while Big Robert is tended to, we'll tell you that Thursdays this fall, William Shatner is an outspoken father who tells it like he sees it in the new comedy Bleep, My Dad Says. That's Thursdays after The Big Bang Theory, only CBS.
I'll tell you, we got to see, as Robert Smith gets up, we got to see some of the previews for that show, Bleep, My Dad Says, and it looks like it's going to be hilarious. Yeah.
You see Robert up and getting off under his own power. As we have a back and forth game today. A 14-10 Cleveland lead now. All the Chiefs points, all 10, came off of turnovers. Vrabel forced a fumble soon after they kicked the field goal to take a 3-0 lead, and they got their touchdown and an interception returned by Brandon Flowers.
Now, this is an important play right here for Kansas City. They need to get something going before halftime. 3rd and 2.
Play fake. Castle, mobile, downfield throw, too high. The steal was open, swinging out of the backfield as Matt Castle slams the turf. He knew he had an open man 25 yards downfield.
I'll tell you what, though, Don, it was a very difficult throw. There really wasn't anybody open in the rhythm of the pass route. You see Big Baby coming down. You can see a very difficult throw from Matt Castle. He had to get that ball up and over Eric Wright. I thought it was a great play call on 3rd and 2 to go with the hard play action, but give Cleveland credit. They were ready. Rob Ryan's defense did not bite. They were in good coverage position. Didn't work for Kansas City.
Well, the Browns, of course, on a 3rd and short, went to a 65-yard pass play for a touchdown. Wallace to Joshua Cribbs. Directional punt to right. Out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. We've got a highlight reel in the second quarter. Big plays.
A good second effort run there by Peyton Hillis to finish it off. And then, of course, the interception by Flowers for the touchdown. And then Josh Cribbs going up for a long touchdown. And right there, you see Sheldon Brown jumping up to take the donation from Matt Castle and Chris Chambers. The Cleveland Browns have really gained the momentum of this football game after really looking like they weren't into it the first quarter. Second quarter turned it around.
Wallace 8 of 17 for 162. Gets the ball to Ben Watson. You'll remember he hit him earlier on a catch and run that went for 44 yards, leading to a touchdown. 8-yard gain on that. Here's Eric Berry. He's an interesting guy to watch because he might be out of position sometimes, but he's got speed to burn, and he comes hard every down.
He's not afraid to stick his nose in there.
Straight ahead, our football on 2nd and short. Looks like the Browns do have a first down out to about their 38-yard line.
And one of the things we need to see, Don, I think out of both of these teams before they can make a jump to the next level offensively, they've got to find ways. And we did see Cleveland with the big play to Josh Cribbs, but they really need to find ways to get their wide receivers more into the game plan. We've not seen much out of Massaquoi or Robisky for the Cleveland Browns, and Dwayne Bowe hasn't been, we haven't said his name yet today.
Seneca Wallace and those feet that buy time get him a few yards as he is out to the 42-yard line on a first down run. Eric Mangini talked to us Friday about how much better he feels about his locker room. He said we've got character guys in there, and Kansas City puts the same emphasis, as you know, Steve, on quality people. In fact, the 7 draft choices of the Chiefs this year, every one was a captain last year of his college team. Toss pitch. And Jerome Harrison at 5'9", 205. Works it out to about the 45-yard line of the Browns as the clock winding down now to the 2-minute warning in the first half. So 2 minutes to play in the half. And the Browns holding to a 4-point lead. We've had 3 lead changes so far. Here at Cleveland Brown Stadium, the Browns have the advantage now, 14-10, and the ball with 3rd down coming up.
And this is the flash formation.
It is Joshua Cribbs.
Second charge timeout, Kansas City. A 30-second timeout.
Apparently they want to change their defensive package if they're going to start running the flash. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Seneca Wallace quarterbacking the Browns today. He knows what it's like, as you did at times in your career, Steve, to be the next man up, being called on short notice to start a game at quarterback. He played behind Hasselbeck at Seattle, and he had nicks at various times, so Wallace is comfortable being called on. But right now they have Wallace coming back out.
And we talked about the Wildcat package. You can see Seneca Wallace going to Iowa State, the Cyclones. That's when he's the quarterback. And when Josh Cribbs is the quarterback, like right now, they call it the Flash because the acronym of the Kent State Golden Flash.
Yeah, but Wallace is on the field. He's a slot back right. Second guy up. They run the other way.
They didn't get it. That's something going on out of bounds. I don't know what they're going to. Tamba Hali mixing up with somebody over there in the Brown sideline.
Probably not a good idea to start a fight in the other team's bench here.
No. Surprised we didn't see one of those yellow things go up in the air over there, because there were some extracurriculars going on. That was 10 yards off the playing field.
Game clock down to 1:42 to play in the first half.
I think that Eric Mangini felt pretty good about going with this flash package. The Wildcat didn't work for him. Then you can see it carrying over, spilling off the field there. Very disappointing on 3rd and 3 to not be able to pick that up.
And good tackling, Steve, by Javier Arenas.
Very good tackling.
And now he's back to return the punt. The 7.
Oh, great hit.
Met rudely right there by Joe Hayden, the Browns' #1 draft pick. Joe Hayden, a terrific prospect.
Great punt by Reggie Hodges. Tremendous coverage by Joe Hayden. You know, Brad Seeley, the special teams coach for Cleveland, he told us, he said, you know what? I feel my mentality is if I don't kick it to these return men, then I'm not showing confidence in my own players. So we're gonna put it on my players to go out there and make some plays, and they're sure stepping up today.
You know, these guys can run when they get down as fast as a long punt. He arrived with the ball. Joe Hayden.
Sure did.
1st and 10, Chiefs. The long field to go. Not much time to do it. Jamal Charles all the way out to the 27-yard line.
That's the first bit of life we've seen out of Jamal Charles. He hits that hole hard when he gets the seam. 20-yard gain right there gets him out of the hole. Now, I would have expected Charlie Weiss to stay conservative, but now since it's out of the hole, the 26, 27-yard line, they'll go after a little bit more now.
Castle has a tip ball. It's live, and is it tipped? It is. It appears that Atiba Rubin, a nose tackle, intercepts the ball.
Well, that's the 2nd or 3rd pass that Matt Castle has had tipped today. He's a big guy, but it seems to me that he gets...
Matt Roth is the guy that tipped it looked like.
It seems to be that Matt Castle does get an unusual amount of balls tipped for some reason coming out of there. Let's see, Matt Roth coming off the edge right there. Just got a lot of push, and that was the backup right tackle, Barry Richardson, in for Ryan O'Callahan. That got pushed all the way back into Matt Castle's lap. Good opportunity for Cleveland.
Browns have Seneca Wallace firing the ball in low. Chiefs had a play on that. It's incomplete. The intended target was Massaquoi. And that stops the clock here late in the 2nd quarter. 34 seconds to play in the half.
You know, Seneca Wallace just looked a little unsettled to me on that play. He had Massaquoi open. on just a generic curl route about 15 yards up the field, but for whatever reason he was hesitant to pull the trigger, and as a result threw it late into the ground.
So on 2nd and 10, Wallace back in the shotgun. Next down, gets it to running back Jerome Harrison. He's to the 20. Marker comes in after the tackle.
Yeah, they're going to call a personal foul on Alex Mack, the center for the Cleveland Browns, after the whistle.
After the play, unnecessary roughness, number 55 of the offense.
That's the call, Steve.
That 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the run. Third down.
And that will really get Eric Mangini's blood pressure going. I can tell you right now, he's saying, what in the world is he doing? You're going to see he's just trying to protect his teammate, keep the Chiefs off him, but that is no doubt too late. Derek Johnson does a great job keeping his poise and not retaliating because, Don, as you know, the guy that retaliates usually is the one that gets nailed.
You're paid to hit people in this league, but not after the whistle.
You know, Mike Shanahan, when I played for the Denver Broncos, used to give players a little bonus if they kept their poise in situations just like that to show them how valuable it was.
Seneca Wallace working the sideline, gets the ball, and Robisky comes down with it at the 25-yard line. Ryan Robisky.
A good job walking the tightrope there by Brian Robisky on the sideline, making this an easier kick for Phil Dawson. As the graphic showed you on the previous play, that was right at his limit. Now that makes it about a 43-yard kick, a comfortable kick for a kicker of Phil Dawson's stature.
Excellent snag by Robisky, 11 yards, gets them closer as they look to build their lead now to 7 by halftime.
Third and final charge timeout, Kansas City, a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Haley just had some money to spend right there
Yeah, you
with the
can't take him
timeout.
to the locker room.
That's right. Can't save him up.
Robisky was a second-round pick out of Ohio State. They think down the line he could be a really front-line receiver. Certainly is a front-line play.
Does a good job coming back to the quarterback and keeping his feet in bounds. That is hard to do, folks. I can't tell you, to be able to focus on the ball and know exactly where your feet are. Robisky was the first second-round draft choice receiver last year by the Browns. Mohamed Massaquoi was the second.
Robisky, the son of Terry Robisky, NFL player and a longtime coach in the league. Here is the field goal attempt. Looking good on the way, but no good. It's wide of the mark, and so the Browns get a chance.
And kick from beyond the 20-yard line is returned to the spot of the kick. First down, Kansas City.
Got a lot behind it, but he was off the mark.
Well, this is just, it's a good snap, a good holding, but it just started off left immediately. The wind had nothing to do with that. That ball never, for a right-footed kicker, you always want to start that ball on the right upright or just inside the right upright because the natural hook is going to happen. For a left-footed kicker, obviously, it's just the opposite right there. Phil Dawson started that kick left of center. That ball never had a chance.
You just sit on it here?
I think so.
They're going to the run and getting some yards. Jamal Charles is out to the 42-yard line. Sheldon Brown on the tackle. So the Browns with a first half that had 3 lead changes after they have 14-10 over the Chiefs. We'll be back with a Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Back at Cleveland Browns Stadium, the score at the half. The Browns in the lead. Getting some big plays in the second quarter. Don Criqui with Steve Berline. All the great Browns teams and also many memories over the years are brought back today. They just honored the 16 Browns who are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and are on the new Ring of Honor here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Some A lot of them, the descendants of these people, not all are still with us, but some great names.
No doubt about it. You're talking about a lot of big names in Browns history, including the commissioner, Roger Goodell, here with us today. A very special thing to be a part of at halftime today.
Yeah, it was terrific. They've got so many memories of championship years. Leroy Kelly, how great was he? There they are. As you look down, they pan all the names that were there. Marion Motley, Otto Graham. It goes on and on. So what started out as a slow-moving first half, both teams trying to run the ball and not very well, and all of a sudden it opened up with just an array of big plays in the second quarter.
Yeah, both ways. And Cleveland obviously protecting the 4-point lead, but 2 turnovers by the Browns led directly to the 10 points for Kansas City. Matt Castle right now, his quarterback rating at 19.8 with 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He's got to find a way to spark this offense in the second half, because if he can start making some plays in the passing game, that'll let Thomas Jones and Jamal Charles get going with that running game.
All right, Steve, now let's take a look at the All-State points of protection.
Well, we talked about the turnovers for the Cleveland Browns. Those are the only things that have really hurt them. They had the fumble by Jerome Harrison and the interception by Seneca Wallace for a touchdown. They can eliminate those, they'd be up a lot more. Matt Castle, we said he's got to pick up the pace a little bit here. Only 60 yards pass. He threw for 68 last week. And then we talked about the Joshua Cribbs factor in the open. He didn't get loose on any kickoff returns. They're not kicking the ball to him, but he did have the huge 65-yard touchdown reception on the play that Eric Berry, the free safety for the Kansas City Chiefs, got a little bit too aggressive.
Well, Matt Castle in the first half, a very limited production.
And just a little bit of indecision, not only on his part. Right there, I think Chris Chambers could have gone up and tried to make a little more effort to keep that pass from being intercepted right there. A tip ball, Matt Castle saying, what in the world do I have to do to get a good break? He's got to get a little bit of help. His receivers have to get open. The right plays have to come up at the right time. But he's got to step up and take charge himself as well.
Browns got one terrific drive, a 98-yard scoring drive. And they would later hit a 65-yard scoring pass, Wallace to Joshua Cribbs. The Browns looking to go 1-1. It's interesting, our producer Rush Schneider been researching statistics since 1990. Teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs over 64% of the time. Teams that start 0-2 don't make the playoffs 87% of the time. You have 13% chance of getting there if you start 0-2. So this is a big game for everybody, particularly the Browns, not to get off to that 0-2 start.
Well, Don, I really believe coming into this game, and we have another player down right now for the Browns, but
outstanding second special teams player, Ray Ventrone, out of Villanova. He is shaking up a very good kick coverer. So while Ray is attended to as a break here at Cleveland Browns Stadium.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
The Chiefs go to the run. Jamal Charles takes it inside the 30-yard line, or outside the 30 to the 33, as Fujita makes the stop. Fujita said to us on Friday, we want to find out if Matt Castle's a guy that can carry a team and beat you.
Well, last year, Castle threw for 331 yards and a couple touchdowns in this game against the Browns back in Kansas City, but it's been a long time, and those days have been few and far between for number 7.
QB rating of only 19 in the first half. Charles. They're going to rule he was down back at the 33-yard line. A very limited gain on a second down play.
Yeah, Charles took a shot from Kenyon Coleman, number 90. An interesting formation, almost looks like an airplane with Jamal Charles so far back there in the backfield, and then 2 upbacks in kind of a wing position, trying to throw a few wrinkles at the Cleveland Browns coming out to start the second half. So far not working so good.
And now, Steve, the pressure shifts directly on Matt Castle on his right arm as they have a third down play coming up, and 6. throws, connection, first down and more. Moeaki is all the way out to the 47-yard line of the Browns. So Matt Castle waits and waits, checks down and hits for a 20-yard gain and a first down.
A good solid play in the old West Coast playbook. It would be two-jet flanker drive. He had Dwayne Bowe going underneath the coverage right there, coming underneath to try and occupy, and then Moeaki settled in the hole right behind him. Boy, this kid does look good. I like the way he gets up the field, the way he moves and turns with the football.
So the Chiefs drive on, hitting a third down pass play. Get down to the fullback, Castile, a good-handed back. Big guy, good lead blocker and receiver, free agent from Alabama. T.J. Ward, that rookie starting in the secondary of the Browns, makes the stop. T.J. Ward had 10 tackles at Tampa Bay last week and forced a fumble. Also forced an interception.
Yeah, they're high on him. Rob Ryan, all the coaches we mentioned earlier, but they just think that he is going to be a player for a lot of years.
Three guys in his secondary at Oregon, Jarris Bird, Pat Sutton, and him are drafted in the second round. Some secondary. Here is Castle on the run, heading for the 12th man. Guys are very cautious about popping a quarterback. Matt Roth would love to. He's the guy that Eric Mangini said is like a hockey enforcer. Somebody's going to get hit when he's around.
That's a great analogy to the hockey enforcer. This guy just going to find a way to get the wood on somebody. Right there, Matt Castle coming out. Looking like he was looking up the field for a big play, but I didn't see anybody running down the field. I think there was some confusion on that play by the Kansas City Chiefs. Somebody missed an assignment.
Again, pressure on Castle on a third down play, 3rd and 6 again. Went to Moeaki the last time. Looking at him again. Now he throws the other way and makes a connection down to the 27-yard line to Dwayne Bowe, who's been inconsistent in his 4 years in the league, but he is a former first-rounder and capable of a big play like that one, a 16-yard gain.
Very similar play to the last one, just reverse the roles. This time you had Moeaki coming underneath shallow, trying to draw the underneath coverage. A nice throw and catch over the top by Matt Castle and Dwayne Bowe. First time we've seen a big play out of Dwayne Bowe today.
He finally comes up with yardage, and now the Kansas City Chiefs have the veteran Thomas Jones bouncing to the outside, working the sideline and getting down close to the Browns' 15-yard line. He's got a first down.
What is it that makes Thomas Jones so good? And Rob Ryan's trying to figure it out right now. But watch the way he just kind of dances and shuffles. Right there's one, then he shuffles again outside right there. He just feels the lane so well, and he's so patient. He knows how to set up his blocks. That's why he is as good as he is.
Because Jones moving the pile, getting to the 10. So the Chiefs with a good drive now, looking to take back the lead. We've already had 3 lead changes in this game.
A nice sustained drive. Todd Haley's got to be happy with what he's seen out of his offense to this point. A couple of nice key third down conversions, get the confidence going to Matt Castle. Get his whole team feeling like, okay, we've got some rhythm here. We really can do this thing.
Thomas Jones. Big collision. T.J. Ward, that hard-hitting rookie, makes the hit from the safety position, but now the Chiefs are down close to yet another first down.
A big collision from Thomas Jones and T.J. Ward. I'll tell you, great tackle by T.J. Ward right there. Man, you hear those helmets smack. I think the Browns were out of position. There was some substituting going on late in that play. I think Kansas City had the right play call. There was a lane, but T.J. Ward came over and made a huge play to stop it for only a few-yard gain.
And another third down arises for the Chiefs in this drive. 3rd and short, 3rd and a yard. Pitch. Browns nail it. Jamal Charles does not get there. So the field goal unit now comes out. Eric Wright, 21, the lead tackler for Cleveland. And Ryan Suckup comes out to try the field goal. If it's good, it'll bring the Chiefs back to within 1.
I'll tell you, Don, on alignment, they had it was the flip with a crack block from the right side of the Kansas City Chiefs offense, but to me, right before the snap, even all the way before the snap, the Cleveland Browns had them outflanked on this side. I don't think they had the right play called at all.
Didn't look that way. They got stopped now. A 26-yard field goal attempt. Zucker puts a little draw on it, knocks it through, and the game tightens again. It's 14-13 Cleveland with the Chiefs ready to kick it off to the Browns when we come back to Cleveland Browns Stadium.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness.
We are back to Cleveland Browns Stadium. A sustained drive with Castle throwing the ball very well in that drive. Brings the Chiefs down close, but they get stopped on a third down, have to kick a field goal, and now to within one. 3 lead changes in the first half. Another short kick away from Cribbs. James Davis takes it out close to the 34-yard line. Here comes Seneca. Seneca Wallace stands standing tall for the Browns.
Well, welcome back to Cleveland, where Seneca Wallace has done some good. You see here the big 44-yard completion that really jump-started the Cleveland offense, followed by the 65-yard touchdown pass to Joshua Cribbs, and a little bit of bad. The late throw to the outside that Brandon Flowers took back for touchdown for the Chiefs. We'll see what Seneca has in store for us the second half.
Harrison running, and Eric Berry, the rookie from Tennessee, coming over to make the hit. See Wallace's numbers. Actually threw 2 touchdown passes today. One went to the wrong guy, though. One was picked up and run back.
Yes.
And Flowers.
Not the kind of touchdown pass you want to have on that stat sheet.
There's Jake Delhomme in his brown finery, the latest in league apparel. It's out today with an ankle problem.
It's killing him to be on the sidelines, too.
Wallace screens the ball nicely. Harrison on the run, cutting back. And the Browns do a really nice job giving him some blocks. 7-yard gain on the play.
Little fantasy update. There's the passing leaders. Look at Michael Vick. What a story that is, huh, Don?
It is.
And rushing leaders. Tim Hightower keeping Beanie Wells on the bench. John Jackson.
The best rookie at Detroit. He's game breaker. Third down, big down now for Wallace and the Browns. Chiefs coming hard, long ball downfield, and a thunderous hit put on. And a defenseless receiver, Evan Moore, was just laid out by rookie Kendrick Lewis.
And they're going to get him for a defenseless receiver, a blow to the head of a defenseless receiver. It's a major, major point of emphasis this year with the referees.
Unnecessary roughness, number 23, defense contact to the helmet of a defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Good to see Evan Moore bounced up. Nice shot.
And these are lessons. You see that was head-to-head. Evan Moore never had a chance, never saw it coming, and a lot of people say that they're taking some of the hitting ability out of the game for the defensive player. I agree with that, no doubt about it, but their bigger picture is the overall health concerns for the head injuries that players have been suffering.
And the Browns drive on with the penalty call against the Chiefs. Jerome Harrison now getting more and more work, Steve, as the game wears on.
He is. We haven't seen Peyton Hillis in a while. But Jerome Harrison and the Browns, they have not really done much. You look at the top of the board there, you see 13 carries for Jerome, only 26 yards. They really haven't gotten that running game going to the level that you would expect. I mean, this is an offense that was averaging 160-plus yards rushing the last 5 games of the season last year.
Harrison 260 yards below what he gained in one game against the Chiefs last year when he got 286. And again, there's not much there for him. Derek Johnson makes the stop.
This Derek Johnson, he is a heck of a player too. I'll tell you, you talk about him, and the compliments just come flowing out of both sides. Mangini was calling him a ball hawk. This guy runs to the football. He makes things happen. Todd Haley talks about him. And as we look at what the two running backs are doing for Cleveland, not a whole heck of a lot. But Todd Haley loves this guy, Derek Johnson, as well.
Well, he had 12 tackles Monday night against the Chargers. Forced a fumble that led to a Kansas City touchdown. 6 years from Texas, Derek Johnson. Long ball, receiver there, too much on it. Ryan Robisky with good speed couldn't get to it. Brandon Flowers was beaten on the play, and Wallace knows he missed the guy there. They might have gone for 6.
You know what he's got to do? He's got to get more air on that ball. And here you see Kansas City up. Had a chance on the outside. Robisky was behind him, and if Seneca Wallace puts a little bit more air on that ball, I think Brian Robisky will get to that ball and make the play.
End over and punt. Javier Arenas comes up on the ball. That's terrific special teams. As good as it gets, the ball is down at the 1-yard line.
Oh, they're calling a touchback.
They are. His foot must have been on the white line. Pleading for something better, but now they're huddling over that.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Dodge Challenger. Visit your local Dodge dealer today. And by Prudential, the rock you can rely on to meet today's financial challenges.
We're back to Cleveland Brown Stadium. Don Criqui with Steve Berline.
And that was Joe Hayden you saw on the side of the rookie. First-round draft choice. Look at it. Mike Adams does a great job keeping this ball play. Look at that left foot. It's in the end zone. Come on, rookie. You can't do that. You got to know where you're on the field. You had plenty of time. And you see right there, Reggie Hodgins saying, you got to be kidding me.
So the Chiefs down by 1, go on offense. Open receiver over the middle, a nice check down. Now Charles turns the corner, and he's all the way out across the KC 45-yard line and out of bounds at about the 47, a 27-yard gain on the play.
And that's a good example. Rob Ryan, some comments that he made about Jamal Charles. When he catches the ball, you've got to set the edge of the defense. You've got to keep him pinned from getting that sideline. But even when you do have him pinned, he doesn't have the edge, he still can find a way to get there a lot of times. He's so explosive.
They found a way to get there. 27 yards worth. Here's Thomas Jones. Chiefs go to power football, working the edges. Chris Golcom making the stop for the Browns.
You're exactly right, though, Don. I mean, he did find his way to the edge, and Rob Ryan, he knows that a player of small Charles' capability, you cannot let him get to the outside and use that speed. Rob Ryan sits there and figures out ways and locks himself in his room and says, we have got to contain this guy, and there aren't many better than Rob Ryan doing that.
Another part of that Patriot connection. Here is handoff, and Jones is thrown back hard. Second and short, second and just over 2, but he's taken down. Kenyon Coleman was the tackler.
Good job by Coleman, and then finished off by Matt Roth there. Holding the point of attack, not allowing Thomas Jones to get up into that line, because that's when he can really hurt you.
Castle building his passing numbers, though, in the second half, Steve. He's 12 of 20 now for the game, 127 yards. No touchdowns, has been intercepted twice. Browns play good run defense, knocking down the big bet. Tim Castile, Matt Roth, 53, the lead hitter.
You know, Don, that was actually an option play. Tim Castile was coming down the line. He had the option. You're going to see right there, you got Dexter McCluster in a pitch position. It's really hard to run the option in the NFL, though. That's why you don't see it very much, because these linebackers are so fast. You just can't get away with it very often. Rob Ryan fired up about that play. A little wrinkle that the Chiefs probably felt pretty good about. Didn't work for them.
That's the second straight time the Chiefs have been stopped on 3rd and 1. Colquitt. It's the punt high. Let's see what this is.
His foot was in. Same thing, and he didn't need to.
The arm waves. Touchback comes out to the 20. Donald Washington almost had a down at the 1-yard line. So the Browns holding to a
Player of the kicking
1-point
team
lead.
grounded himself in the end zone.
Get the ball
Prior
back.
to touching the ball. That's a touchback by.
Tomorrow on The Late Show, don't miss former President Bill Clinton. Then Wednesday, Joaquin Phoenix returns on an all-new Dave, followed by Craig Ferguson, only CBS. Browns lead by a point and have the ball 1st and 10 at their 20. Harrison. Yards coming hard. Evan Moore, the Browns tight end, was hit with a high shot not long ago, and he'll not come back today in this game.
Yeah, the shot to the head by Kendrick Lewis. Obviously, Evan Moore showing some signs of possible head injury. And you know the NFL, Roger Goodell done a great job of really emphasizing the player safety part of this, overly concerned about the head injuries as he should be.
Yeah, Commissioner Goodell's been the point man with the competition committee. Any blow above the shoulders is going to be flagged.
And maybe more so, Don. You know, there's a good possibility Kendrick Lewis may receive a little letter from the commissioner asking for part of that paycheck next week as well.
Yeah, that happens, doesn't it?
It does happen.
In fact, you can just about count on it. You have to write a check, or do they deduct it?
They just deduct it. Yeah, they don't they don't wait for you to write the check.
I didn't think you'd know that because you never were fined.
Well, I was not fined, but the rumor is.
You've heard that.
Yeah.
Nice move by Peyton Hillis, a 240-pound back. Gets the little swing pass from Seneca Wallace. And he is ahead and appears to have a first down. He does, out to the 32-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play.
Kind of a strange 3rd and 5 call. You're running a bootleg off the fake reverse in a passing situation. Peyton Hillis, pure effort. Again, we saw the earlier touchdown he scored. Second effort right here, a second and third effort to get that first down for his team.
Hillis, big, but he can run the quick hitter. Derek Johnson got him down, but it was a 7-yard gain. So the Browns working the field with the run game, working the clock with a 1-point lead.
Yeah, good job by the center right there, Alex Mack. You see that seam right through there. Look at that, man. That's a great cutback lane. And Peyton Hillis, very, very good at sensing and feeling that soft spot, cuts it back, and he's going to run through any arm tackle. You got to hit him, wrap him up, and get him down.
2nd and 3. Play fake. Penalty markers fly. 2 of them. Wallace gets out of bounds. If the play goes, he's got a first down, but it may not.
Pretty good guess of what this is going to be.
Holding, number 47, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And Lawrence Vickers picked a bad spot to grab onto somebody right in front of the guy with the white hat on. You see right there, he's got him by the neck, and there's the man throwing the flag right there. You can't get away with that, Lawrence.
Amba Ali, and who got fouled on the play. But the stats are pretty compelling. Since 1990, teams that start 2-0 go to the playoffs over 64% of the time. Teams that start 0-2 make the playoffs on average 13% of the time. 87% chance they don't get there. So the Browns struggling to get hold on and get a win, even their record at 1-1. And the team's looking to go to 2-0. Wallace, a strong of arm, lost the long ball as the 3rd quarter comes to an end, with the Cleveland Browns holding to a 1-point lead. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We're back at Cleveland Brown Stadium, ready to start the fourth quarter of play. As you look at total yards, Cleveland, nothing much happening in the second half.
Kansas City's made a little bit of a turnaround, a little more life in the second half. Matt Castle throwing the ball a little more effectively. Peyton Hillis flinched.
False start, number 40. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
The flinch costs you 5, but 5 is very often a drive killer.
Yeah, you're going to see there Peyton Hillis in the backfield right there. He knew it. The head goes down. 3rd and 18 now. Expect something pretty conservative here out of Cleveland.
By 1. Wallace looking, steps down, and really good tackling of Peyton Hillis. Combination tacklers led by Vrabel. And there goes Javier Arenas back now, anticipating a punt from the Cleveland Browns.
You know, we have not seen the Dex factor yet today back there returning punts. You see Javier Arenas, who, by the way, was the #1 punt returner in college football last year. I understand why he's back there, but Dexter McCluster with that 94-yard return last week, you'd expect him to maybe get a chance at some point.
I would think so. Well hit ball, knocked downfield by Reggie Hodges. And Arenas living dangerously, going into the teeth of the coverage, catches the ball on the run, a 45-yard punt and just a 2-yard return. The Chiefs down by 1 have the ball.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
We're back to Cleveland Brown Stadium as what now turned into a beautiful Indian summer day in northern Ohio. Sun has broken through. Temperature in the 60s. The Chiefs looking for a 2-0 start. They could, if they got this game, go to 3-0. They'll be home to play the 49ers next week at the new Arrowhead. Hand off to Jones. Straight ahead. Chiefs have 2 field goals in this game. The Browns, they'd have a 4-point lead had not Dawson missed that 42-yarder. Is your fantasy football site letting you down? There's still time to upgrade to the award-winning Fantasy Football Commissioner. Get a special officer, get a special offer and help moving your league at cbssports.com/upgrade. Boy, throw and a catch. Terrific play as Dwayne Bowe. He can take a punch. What a shot they put on him. A 19-yard gain. Good throw by Castle.
Very nice play, and they're running the red ball again. You're going to see Dwayne Bowe coming down the middle of the field. Good protection. Nice pocket from Matt Castle. Boy, that sure makes the job of a quarterback a lot easier.
Thomas Jones, nothing there. They're filling those gaps, Steve. Well, they see where the ball's going, and people are in there fast.
They are. They can react and close very quickly. Thomas Jones has seen a little bit of life in this second half. There's been a few seams for him, but not on that play right there at all. That was a great job at the point of attack by Kenyon Coleman and company.
2nd down and 9 early in the fourth quarter. They changed hands in this game 3 times in the first half. Matt Castle started slow, but he's now throwing well. Another ball on the short hands of Chris Chambers, the 10-year veteran. Castle in the second half is now 6 for 6, Steve, throwing the ball.
That was a great job closing, though, by Chris Docon, number 51 for the Cleveland Browns. Matt Castle had one-on-one on the outside. He closed and made a nice tackle for only a 4-yard gain. You see Matt Castle a little frustrated. Todd Haley says take a timeout.
First charge timeout, Kansas City.
Timeout it is with 12:08 to go. And the Browns holding to a 1-point lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Lovesa, Sony, and by Corona, who invites you to find your beach.
We're back in Cleveland. The Chiefs with the ball. A big down now, 3rd and 6. They're down by 1. What a play call. It's good for a first down. They go to Jamal Charles, who works the middle of the field. Abram Elam got him down, but on 3rd and 6, they hit a gainer for a first down.
It was the right call right there, too. But you see them still staying in the red ball. They try to catch Cleveland in. They try to catch Cleveland in some substitutions.
So on 3rd down, the Chiefs needed 6. They got 7. They drive on down by 1.
This Monday, only CBS.
Go! With Steve Berline, this is Don Criqui back at Cleveland Browns Stadium. At Castle, you see a much different quarterback in the second half. Has hit all 6 throws for 89 yards. His team trailing by 1. But starting to mount a challenge now on a sustained drive. Here's Castle looking deep. A throw wrong side of Dwayne Bowe, who had a step on the turn-in pattern.
Yeah, that was a play that Kansas City really had a chance to take advantage of an opportunity to cover 0, meaning no safety back there, but Cleveland did a great job of disguising their coverage, and we've seen a lot of red ball this drive here by the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not in it right now, but it's caused problems both for the Chiefs and for the Browns, costing both teams a timeout in this drive.
McCluster. And Dexter McCluster, the rookie from Ole Miss, a second-round draft choice who had a 94-yard return for a touchdown on a punt Monday night against San Diego. He gets the hard yards inside.
You look how small he is in there hiding behind those linemen. Now, if I have Dexter McCluster on my team, I just, call me crazy, but I'm not going to run him between the tackles all that much. I think his strength is on the outside, getting it on the move, screen passes. Every once in a while, you got to keep the defense honest, but you can't make a living with him doing that inside.
Here's Castle, 3rd down, throwing a catch. Well executed. Moiaki comes over the middle, screens off the defender Elam with his body, and makes a 12-yard catch on 3rd down.
Good rhythm by Matt Castle on that one. The protection has been very good for the most part of Matt Castle today. He had time to set there and get his feet in great position. Did a good job getting through his progression. He went to the left side first. You can see him shift over to the right side. Moiaki coming through right on time, and a nice throw by Matt Castle.
Thomas Jones, as the Chiefs grind it out. Talking about McCluster, who you watched in college a lot, Steve. He reminds me of one of my all-time favorite NFL players, Lionel Little Train James, a San Diego Charger fan.
Yeah, those are guys, and there's a few of them in the league right now. You got the Darren Sproles and guys like that where they make you hold your breath every time they get the football. It's just exciting to watch.
Train James always wore the bow tie off the field. Right now, McCluster. Good fake by Castle. Good catch by Chambers. And the Chiefs take it inside the Browns' 10-yard line. 15-yard gain.
Nice play calling. I think Charlie Weiss has found some rhythm. Now look at the play action to Dexter McCluster. You get the pursuit, over pursuit by the whole Cleveland defense, and that leaves nobody back on the backside to see Chris Chambers coming across the field. Nice throw and catch again. Matt Castle looks like a different quarterback out there right now. Got to be encouraging to Todd Haley.
Jones slashing up the middle, down to the 5-yard line. On a 1st and goal run, big Sean Rogers stopped him. Now the Chiefs taking time off the clock, in position to take the lead.
As you see, Matt Castle, a little bit of confusion with the communication on this drive, but he hasn't let it rattle his performance. 4 or 5. I can guarantee you Rob Ryan is scratching his head trying to figure out what angle Kansas City's coming from on the next play.
Thomas Jones is stonewalled. Ward, the 2nd-round draft choice from Oregon, the rookie starter at safety, comes up and makes a hard hit. So Eric Mangini looking for his defense They get a stop. The Chiefs defense has held the Browns without points for over 27 minutes.
Yeah, T.J. Ward definitely came up, Don, and made that tackle, but he was not alone. The Browns made a very aggressive, very physical stance on that play.
We have Jamal Charles in the backfield. 3rd and goal.
Dexter McCluster right here. Watch him.
And a wisely used timeout by Matt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. Subway, where winners eat. And by E-Trade.
We're back in the red zone today. The Chiefs have been in the red zone twice, but had to settle for field goals. They're in position to take the lead on this drive without an offensive touchdown today. They do have a defensive score. A pass interception returned by Flowers. Out pattern. Penalty marker in the backfield. Matt Castle went down hard as he released
Holding,
it.
number 67, offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Barry Richardson standing in for Ryan O'Callahan, who didn't make the trip at right tackle, called for a hold.
Yeah, if you're going to see Barry Richardson beat around the edge, and yeah, right there again, that's Marcus Bernard coming off the edge. Just can't do it. We saw that very same play cost the Dallas Cowboys their game the other night when Tony Romo threw that touchdown pass on the last play of the game. The right tackle for the Cowboys, Barron, same exact thing Barry Richardson just did.
Now Succop with a 23-yard attempt to give the Chiefs the lead. He's got it. And the lead changes again. Kansas City's up by only 2, though, 16-14, with still 7:41 left to play. So Eric Mangini needs offense.
Well, you know, we talked about it a little bit, Don, but I really believe that this game is if you can really call any game a must-win week 2 of the season, I think for these organizations, this is a must-win. And we're not talking about teams that I think even view themselves as playoff teams at this point. So the stats and everything, that really doesn't matter in my opinion. I just think both of these coaches have their teams moving in the direction they want them to move. And in order to keep it going and to keep the confidence level up, even though Cleveland lost last week to Tampa Bay, they still feel like they're going the right direction. Both of these teams need to have a win today. I think Kansas City surprised themselves with a big win over San Diego last week. To lose to Cleveland would be a huge disappointment. Cleveland to start the season off 0-2, huge disappointment because they won 4 straight to end the season last year. So you got 2 teams that desperately need a win to confirm to themselves that they're heading in the right direction.
Well, we got a long way to go to decide it. We just had our 4th beat change today as the field goal by Succop, his 3rd of the day, gives the Chiefs a 2-point lead. Browns offense has been quiet in the second half while Matt Castle, the Chiefs, really picked it up.
Look where they have Josh Cribbs now. They've moved him up into the middle of the field right there, hoping that Succop doesn't see it and will pop it up.
He does.
Did.
Go to Josh at the 14. Head down, driving out to the 32-yard line. Jeremy Horn on the special teams tackle.
Well, Jerome Harrison, 286 yards last year against Kansas City. Not today. He's been bottled up. You see Eric Berry darting in there making the hit. But the Kansas City Chiefs have had their mark set on him all day, putting the game on Seneca Wallace's shoulders. He's done some good and bad.
Browns not productive on offense, though.
0 points on their last 5 possessions. Scoreless actually for over 30 minutes.
Wallace, good swing pass. And with a burst of speed, Chancey Stuckey gets ahead. Out to the, let's see where they spat it, 43-yard line. Looks like he's got a first down. He does a 10-yard gain.
You know, Don, sometimes plays don't come up as they're drawn. That was a crossing route to Chancey Stuckey. He's supposed to come across the field about 3 to 4 yards depth. That time he got hit and knocked into the backfield. He came across and caught that ball about a yard behind the line of scrimmage, but still made a first down out of it.
Right now, Harrison's 286-yard day rushing last year is just a memory. They shut him down. Throw, and let's see, are they going to rule it? A catch. Linesmen are coming out, they're waving it off. And Watson going low for the ball. Watson
on the field as the pass is incomplete. Second down.
I'd put this on Seneca Wallace. I think this ball was thrown late to Benjamin Watson. That's what caused the problem. If he throws it right out of Benjamin Wallace's break, on rhythm, on time, that's a completion and about a 6 or 7 yard pickup for Eric Mangini and his offensive squad. Right there, nothing to show for it.
Chiefs with 9 points today on field goals. The Browns 0 for 1. Dawson going wide left on a 42-yard attempt. Chiefs lead by 2. Here comes the heat. Wallace buys time. Looking again at Ben Watson, and a flag is down.
Number 73, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Joe Thomas called for the hold.
You don't see Joe Thomas getting called for holding very often. He's one of the best in the league. You see him right up here, number 73. He's going against one of the best pass rushers in the AFC, and Tambahali, yeah, definitely got a hold there. Eric Berry almost makes his interception at the end of the play. Coming out, you see right there, he's going for it. If he would have intercepted that ball, obviously the penalty wouldn't have mattered, but since he did make the catch, they take the penalty. Now it's 2nd and 20.
2nd and 20 it is. Browns looking to get in field goal range. Wallace throws out pattern, nicely executed. He gets the ball to Joshua Cribb, but still way short of the first down. It brings up 3rd down and about 11 now. They got about 8 or 9 on that throw.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where you sit there and you say, we got 2nd and 20. If we go for the big chunk, we're going to probably have something bad happen. Let's get half of it back and maybe a little bit more and see if we can put ourselves in a makeable 3rd down situation.
Down the possessions. Chiefs are controlling the ball and the ball game in the second half. As Kessler with a very poor first half throwing and having a good one in the second half. But they've not scored an offensive touchdown, but they still lead the game. Here's a long ball, and Robisky can't get to it. Too much on it. And also good coverage by Flowers.
Very good coverage by Flowers, and that's where a quarterback has to evaluate his matchup. You got Brian Robisky, a 2nd-year receiver. Eric Berry coming on the blitz. Seneca Wallace thought he had a chance one-on-one on the outside. He did, but Brian Robisky did not win off the release, and therefore you'd like to see Seneca Wallace come off of him and find another option.
Defensive back Brandon Flowers has the Chiefs' only touchdown today. Interception return. There's a punt. Hodges hits it downfield. Browns down it at the Chiefs' 31. Just a 26-yard punt. Coming up next, Tom Brady and the Patriots take aim at Darrelle Revis and the Jets. Or the Texans battle the Redskins, while the Jaguars visit the Chargers. Check local listing. Tom Brady says he hates the Jets.
Well, you talk about a must-win situation. How about the thought of hard-knock New York Jets start off the season 0-2? Tough matchup for them today, even though it's at home. Patriots have got to feel good coming off of their first win last week.
Jets, they've got to get more out of the quarterback position.
No doubt about it.
Jones running. And the Chiefs grinding out yards. They get about 4 on that carry on first down. And they run the clock.
You know, John, another reason why I feel so strongly that this is a must-win for the Cleveland Browns. Their next 7 games, all 7 of the teams had winning records last year in 2009. They go to Baltimore, they have Cincinnati and Atlanta at home, then they go to Pittsburgh and New Orleans, then they have New England and New York Jets. That's their next 7 games.
Wow.
That is a tough stretch.
No days off in the NFL. 2nd down and 6 for the Chiefs. Castle looks. He's got a problem. And throws it up into row A.
Oh, they're throwing a flag in the backfield. I'm all for protecting the quarterback, but
There's no foul for intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area. Unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer. Number 90 on the defense lowered his helmet and made contact with the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah.
Kenyon Coleman, we go back. To the,
I think the two shots were both legal hits, except we'll see. Matt Castle holding that ball. He's asking for pain. Right there, Kenyon Coleman, you saw he came in with the crown of his helmet. That's why the flag was thrown. It wasn't late. It wasn't malicious. It was just the fact that he put his head down, and that is going to draw a flag. I don't agree with the fact that there was a hit. I do agree with the fact that the head was down, and that is the rule.
not a prudent request, asking for pain.
No, that's right. He was asking for pain, holding the ball that long.
Ball at midfield, 1st and 10 Chiefs. Again, they run the ball. Time becoming a factor now as we're down to 5:10 and running in the 4th quarter. And Kansas City, in a game where the lead has changed hands 4 times, pulled to a 2-point lead without an offensive touchdown today.
Look at that. This half, Cleveland's only had the ball for 3 plays in the Kansas City side of the field. On the other hand, Kansas City's been playing this whole second half on the other side of the 50.
Run on 2nd down and 10. Jones, good cutback move. He weaves his way to the 42-yard line of the Browns. 7 yards.
Right now, the difference in the game was the full hook by Phil Dawson, usually extremely reliable.
Extremely.
That was a 43-yard kick that wasn't even close. He knows that he's looking at that scoreboard, knowing his team should have a 1-point lead. I'll tell you what I like about what Kansas City's doing right now, though. They're feeding Thomas Jones, and as you said, can't believe the Jets let him go. Kansas City's game, Kansas City's benefit for sure.
You see the clock inside 4 minutes to play.
3rd and final charge timeout, Kansas City. A 30-second timeout.
So Matt Castle, a changed quarterback at halftime. I don't know what went on in the locker room, but he was a different guy, and he played a very good second half so far. Wednesday on Showtime, JB, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, and Warren Sapp return on cable's longest-running show, the multi-award-winning Inside the NFL, every Wednesday on Showtime.
You know, Don, that is the 3rd timeout that Kansas City has taken. There's still 4 minutes in the game. They have the lead. They've burned 3 timeouts because of confusion on the sideline. It just shows this is still a work in progress. You know, Matt Castle had Chan Gailey through the offseason last year, and then, of course, he was fired. Todd Haley took over, and now this year bringing in Charlie Weiss. Not much of a difference, but Charlie Weiss is now calling the plays. It's still a work in progress for this offense.
Charlie is good at dialing up stuff you might not expect. Let's see what he calls now on 3rd and 2. Go down the field. Tip ball. Incomplete. Rob Ryan leaps in the air. D coordinator for the Browns on the far sideline. Again, they were looking at Moyaki.
Great play. Getting up in the air, making the tip, getting that left hand on it. Super job. That was Marcus Bernard going up there and making that play right there. He's rushing the passer. He's been all over the field today. If he doesn't get that hand on that football, it's a big gain for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He was all over the field last week at Tampa Bay. Had a sack and a half. Marcus Bernard.
And another one called back.
Right. End over and punt. Chiefs are down there. This time it's not a touchback. They're able to down the ball at the 5-yard line. A 37-yard net punt. No return. Castle 8 for 10 in the second half with no interceptions through 2 in the first half.
Well, this would be a good time for Cleveland to make a little bit of a
need to make some
statement.
Now.
Yeah, down 2, 3:41 left in the ball game. Got to get about to the 38-yard line. Phil Dawson's career-long 56.
He had the line of scrimmage in 17 yards, 7 for the hold, 10 into the end zone. He got the run for a field goal. Wallace. They would draw. Hillis. Not much going on. The Browns with the long field to go, and if you're going to run it, you're going to run clock.
Look at that stat right there. Last home opener win against Baltimore back in '94, 6 years ago.
Chiefs come with 4. Wallace steps up. Sacked at the 7-yard line. Wallace Gilberry, 92. He had more tackles for loss than any player in Alabama history other than the Chief Hall of Famer Derek Thomas. First sack for KC. Lofted ball. Receiver out there. Taken in. Massaquoi. First down. Now they're going to really didn't have it in the process of completing the catch. He lost it when he hit the ground.
Yeah, we heard a lot about that process of completing the catch last week with Calvin Johnson. His touchdown called back. Overruled because he did not finish complete the process of making the catch. Right there, you see Massaquoi definitely has both hands on it. He's got it tucked away. He hits the ground, the ball comes out. He did not complete the process.
So the Chiefs looking to go 2-0 to start the season. Get the ball back. They see no timeouts. Cleveland has 2. But the Chiefs will take over the ball on the Cleveland side of the field with the Chiefs in the lead by 2.
You know, we were talking about that play with Calvin Johnson. Here it is. He goes up. No doubt he makes the catch. But as he rolls over his right hand, he kind of pins the ball on the ground and squirts out. If there ever was no doubt that a catch was made, that was it. A lot of people saying the rules should be changed because of that play. But by the strict interpretation of the rule, it was determined the referees did make the right call.
And the irony of it, Steve, it was a running play and he went down like that. It would be the ground causing the fumble.
And the sad thing about it is I have him on my fantasy team and it would have won my game for me last week.
That's the most disappointing aspect. Say nothing about the Lions. Thomas Jones has got one speed as hard as he can go. Every down he carries it. You talked about the 300.
Timeout, Cleveland. A 30-second timeout.
341 touches that Thomas Jones had last season with the Jets.
The last time the Kansas City Chiefs won on the road in September was in '07 at San Diego. You know, we talked about the futility at home for the Cleveland Browns. You know, I think Eric Mangini felt like his team was over the hump. They won their last 3 home games last year and really wanted to come out and make a statement, get this city buzzing about them with a home opener win. It'd be extremely disappointing if they can't find a way to get this ball game back.
2:35 left to play. He's ready to run again. Jones to the Browns 38-yard line.
And this is an area, Don, where the good...
2 minutes to go in Cleveland and the tension mounts. 4th down and about a foot for the Kansas City Chiefs. If they get it, they can run out the game and win their 2nd straight game to start the season.
Now, it looks like they're going to go for it here, Don. It's a bold call by Todd Haley. Now, they may just try to draw Cleveland off sides and then take the penalty and punt it.
Over the top. Linesmen come in.
Boy, he is right on the line. He had to get across the line. It is all going to depend on the spot.
I think the linesman from this side with his foot marked it a little short, but we'll have to see. Line to gain the 35.
It's going to be very, very close. And they're going to have to measure it. No doubt about it.
First down, in effect, ends the game. The Browns are out of timeouts.
Right. You remember last year, as we wait for the measurement, remember the scrutiny Bill Belichick was under last year, and he deserved it, I believe, in that situation when he was backed up in his own end against the Indianapolis Colts with the lead.
Tell you, this would be the nose of the ball, the very tip of the nose if he gets it. Game of inches, they say. Here it is.
Oh, you got it.
The Chiefs get 4 new downs. And the Browns now helpless to stop the clock with 1:53 to play. And Eric Mangini's team, in a game where there was 4 lead changes, can't do anything now.
Boy, that
previous play is under review.
Yeah, it is going to be reviewed because you look at that sideline angle again, you can see where the ball was. And remember, it doesn't matter where Thomas Jones was. It matters where that ball was. In my opinion, that ball might not have crossed the line.
Well, they're checking it. The replay call comes from upstairs. We'll be back with the result. A moment of truth at Cleveland Brown Stadium. Did Thomas Jones go over the top and get there? That replay indicates he might be
After
just
review,
short.
the ruling on the field stands.
Oh, it does.
First down, Kansas City.
Wow. I'll tell you what. When you look at this again in slow motion, there's an argument to be made for Eric Mangini and the Browns. Watch this. Watch the ball. It's where the ball is. Look at the ball. Here's the line. All right, that's not a straight line, but the ball is definitely, in my opinion, short of that line. And remember now, it's got to be irrefutable, indisputable, but I believe that that camera angle showed that the ball carried by Thomas Jones did not cross the plane of that white line. I would not have been surprised if that call was overturned.
But it was upheld. The Chiefs take over the ball with a 2-point lead. 4 downs now. They'll just be downing the ball. Play after play. Browns out of timeouts. Out of luck. So Kansas City will go home to play the 49ers with a 2-0 start to this season.
Wow, tale of 2 teams here. Todd Haley feeling fantastic about his 2-0 start. Last time this happened was 2005, and they finished 10-6. I think Todd Haley would take that right now. And then Eric Mangini, who would have thunk to be 0-2 at this point, starting with Tampa Bay and Kansas City.
120! Wide to center!
Matt Castle, who downs the ball, he really stepped up his play in the second half.
He sure did. Give him credit.
8 of 11, Steve, in the second half throwing the ball.
That is not easy to do in this league when you have a tough half to be able to shake it off and come back with all the pressure Matt Castle's been under. Pretty impressive.
And so the Kansas City Chiefs win the game 16-14. For Steve Berline, this is Don Criqui saying so long from Cleveland. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. Coming up is the Burger King Update. We'll take you to New York for all the scores and highlights after this.